Hey guys, welcome back to Tech Talk with Zone Off-Road. I'm Andy, and today we're going to talk about alignments. One of the most common questions that I see come in through the tech lines is something goes like this. Hey guys, I just got your lift kit put on my truck and the shop told me that I should call you to get the alignment specs for it. That seems simple, and it actually is, because that vehicle will still align within factory specifications. The alignment consists of three major things. And the three things that we're looking at in the alignment are the caster, the camber, and the toe. Now, for an IFS vehicle compared to a straight axle vehicle, things are a little bit different, but specs are generally the same. Now, every vehicle is going to have a different factory spec. Now, when I say factory spec, I'm talking factory specification, and that is a range. Every alignment has a range that it's allowed to be in. That's what we look at on an alignment sheet, and that's what's in the green. So a range for camber is going to be 0 degrees plus or minus 0.5. Now that means that it can go from negative 0.5 degrees over to positive 0.5 degrees and still align within the green, and that is within factory spec. Caster is very similar, but it is a different number, and that is going to vary from vehicle to vehicle. Toe is something that's relative to your steering, whether it be a rack and pinion type steering or a drag link tie rod combination. Now, toe refers to your tires pointing straight ahead of the vehicle. So when we're doing an alignment, we're looking for the toe to be slightly toed in, so your tires are going to be slightly pointed inward. And that's because when we get going down the road, natural momentum is going to take up the normal slack in tie rods and rack and pinions and drag links and all of the steering components and essentially make the tires point straight ahead at 0 degrees. Now when we talk about caster is an angle that we consider a drivability angle. It's not a tire wear angle, and it's not going to affect tire wear in any way, shape, or form. In front of me I have an independent front suspension Chevy knuckle, and now if you can imagine, we have this straight up and down between the upper ball joint and the lower ball joint. That's considered 0 degrees. Now as we roll this back and we bring the upper control arm back, that's going to add positive caster to the vehicle. That's what's going to allow this to drive better and eliminate any sort of memory steer. You know, when you go around a corner and the vehicle naturally, when you let off the wheel, wants to come back to going straight, that's because of caster. Now, camber is going to be the relationship between the upper and lower ball joint in this position. Negative camber is going to be the upper ball joint and is going to be leaned backwards, more in towards the vehicle. Imagine your tire is out here. Positive camber is going to be it more outward. Now, positive camber is going to relate to outside tire wear, where negative camber is going to relate to inside tire wear. Neither of these things we want, so the ideal position of this is going to be straight up and down camber at 0 degrees. Now, toe is very similar to that and in the same perspective. Our tie rod is going to connect to the knuckle right here. Now, where we position that at is going to determine our toe. If we're towed in a little bit or towed out a little bit, we can affect inner or outer tire wear as well. That generally refers to a feathering or a choppy tire. All right, now that we have the basics of an alignment, let's go over to the hoist and we'll see what this looks like on a vehicle. Alright, so here we have a 2016 GM half-ton truck. I just finished installing a leveling kit on this, so I'm going to take it to the dealership to have an alignment done. Now, they're going to align this within factory specifications for camber, caster, and toe. Now, they're going to make the adjustments for camber and caster based on the upper control arm and the cam bolts that are located on both sides of that. Then when it comes to the toe, they're going to make that adjustment via the tie rod here. Now, we have aftermarket upper control arms, and they do add some caster naturally by moving the upper ball joint position back a little bit. They do some other things like increased droop travel. Those are things we'll talk about in another episode. Now, anytime that we change the ride height of a vehicle, we're going to want to have an alignment done. This is just to make sure that we have everything within the factory specification and the factory range. Plus, tires are expensive, and we really don't want to be wearing those out within 5,000 to 10,000 miles because we didn't pay the $100 to get an alignment done. Now, if you've had a lift kit installed for a while and you start experiencing some drivability issues or, say, a pull, then you may want to get the alignment checked as well. When I'm talking about a pull, there's variables there, and you can go from anywhere from a pull where within 50 yards of letting off the steering wheel, it wants to pull you right into the ditch. You could go to something as minor as a drift where over a quarter-mile stretch, you finally cross over the white line. Now, some of those things are variables that can't be affected by the alignment, but they are affected by the shape of the road. Now, some roads have a crown in the center, and when a vehicle is aligned, the alignment tech needs to keep mind of that so that they are pointing the vehicle in a direction to where it is fighting that crown. There are other roads that don't have that crown, so if your vehicle is set up to fight the crown of the road, and you drive on a road that doesn't have a crown, you could encounter a pull to the left. This is normal, doesn't necessarily mean that you need an alignment. Alright, now that we've covered the basics of an alignment, just keep in mind that it really doesn't matter how high your vehicle is, we still want the tires pointed straight ahead, going straight up and down, and we want caster within factory specifications for the best drivability. And in that fact, we really want all of the alignment angles to be within the factory specifications. There's nothing wrong with the factory specifications, and they do have a range. Now, occasionally we do need to tune within that factory range or within that green area to get the best drivability out of the vehicle. That's something that a good, qualified, and experienced alignment tech should have no problem doing. If you have any questions about alignments or you have any ideas for future Tech Talk segments, feel free to shoot us a message on social media or send us an email at tech-zone@ridefox.com. We're happy to hear your thoughts and ideas and answer any questions that you have. Again, we're always looking for your input, and we want to know what you want to hear about. So again, if you have questions, feel free to send us a message on social media or tech-zone@ridefox.com. Until next time, we'll see you.